Warning, this podcast contains unnecessary racism. Well, we're not the racists.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the As Seen on TV podcast for Legends of Tomorrow, Season 1, Episode 8, Night of the Hawk. I'm your host, Clio, and with me I have Dom. And Nikki.
Hi.
I almost forgot I was hosting.
Oh.
Do I do... Oh, intro. Okay, let's go. This episode was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Those were not the Hawks I was expecting.
No, definitely not.
Definitely not the Hawks I was expecting.
Mm-mm.
No, we were all like thinking that Carter was going to come back in some form. I don't
I'm
know.
glad he didn't.
Why you glad?
I don't like him.
Oh, that's right. But it's fun. Come on.
What if it was a little Carter?
A Babby Carter.
A little Babby Carter.
No.
You teach them young and they don't turn into
Or like
dickholes.
A really old crotchety Carter. I would enjoy that a lot.
He just never, realized who he was. Yeah.
No, he didn't realize who he was. And,
Well, the Vandal would have been drawn to him and killed him. So
guess.
the only way he can get old and ratchety is if he didn't awaken. He awakens at 89 years old.
Well, that would be bad.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the wrong notes.
Okay, then.
I'm really professional today. So they were sort of just like mutant bird people.
Well...
Alien mutant bird people.
Yeah.
Well, was it...
It was the meteor. He said exposure to the meteor.
Yes, it was the meteor, but was it like... What do they call it? The nth particle? Nth?
The Pym particle?
No, it's
Oh.
wrong. Universe. No, what do they call it? Something. Anyway, it obviously comes from space.
Mm-hmm.
But at least I don't know if it's bio like a biologic bits, or is it like non-biologic bits, or is it
Organic?
There we go.
It's magic. No,
Magic?
it seems...
Could be magic.
Yeah, it could be. It could be magical alien...
Yeah.
Genetic changing artifact meteor.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, he did make reference to the first meteor he was exposed to, Vandal,
Right.
and it was more because of the exposure and the ritual that was going on at the same time. That's why he is who he is. Whereas there was no magic involved with this exposure.
All right, it was all science.
It's all biological.
Mm.
But here's the thing. Because in the comics, Kendra and Connor are actual aliens. Came from a alien planet with alien bird people.
Interesting.
Okay.
Wondering if the whatever was in the meteor came from that planet.
That seems like a possibility. Thanagar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That seems like a huge possibility, because it would work similar to the way Kryptonite works for Superman. Where because of the... What exactly... Hold on. I need to define this really quick before I confuse myself. What exactly is Kryptonite? Is it just a mineral found on Krypton, or is it actual crust from the planet?
I think it was a mineral.
Okay.
But like a very abundant mineral on Krypton.
Right, and it didn't have any effect to them on the planet.
Because they didn't have any powers.
But the yellow sun weakens them. So, it seems like that. So,
Red Sun.
Well, I mean, the kryptonite weakens them because of the yellow sun. They gain their powers from the yellow sun.
Yes, they gain their powers
and the
from
kryptonite.
the yellow sun, but the kryptonite, yes.
That's okay. So I think it's the same kind of effect for that meteor. I think whatever planet it's from, it doesn't do anything to them there, but it affects people away from the planet. You know?
And I don't think any, like, you know, like, if you were just touching the meteor, it would change it. Like, we saw Vandal actually inject a bit of it into Jackson.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't think, you know, maybe prolonged exposure would change you,
Yeah,
but
probably.
I don't, it has to be, like, in you. Like,
In ya.
it's gotta be in you.
Yes. So it's interesting, and I hope they just keep giving us little bits as we go on, sort of about the origin of the Hawks.
Hmm.
Although, these mutant birdmen were really weird. Really
I
weird.
think the only thing bird about them was their wings. Everything else
Yeah.
was
Well, their teeth sort of almost became
beaked.
beaks, like went halfway between teeth and beak.
I guess.
Yeah, it was halfway between teeth and beak. So,
I don't know.
but yeah,
There was just,
that's about
I
it.
mean, if
Oh,
they're
and their
alien
talons.
birds, I guess they can totally get away with that. But I mean,
Alien birds have teeth.
sure.
Well, what I'm thinking is that whatever they were being injected with didn't turn them full bird. It was half bird.
No,
So
well,
it was halfway
and that's why
between.
they could turn back by the end of the episode.
Yeah. Well, and I like it because at the end, I don't know if I like it, but like at the end of the episode, it's just like, oh, he did it in like 5 seconds, and you're all fine.
See, I'm wondering now if they could reverse Kendra.
Why would they want to?
Not that they would want to, but I'm curious if they could.
Yeah, they might. That might be a thing because they're kind of looking for any way to stop Savage.
Because if they could reverse Kendra, that means they could reverse Savage.
Yeah, but I mean, Savage doesn't have the bird powers.
No, but
he's just.
Yeah.
No.
You're just saying like reverse the actual curse thing that they have going on.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's out of Stein's category.
Well, I think that's why in the future we're gonna need a man called Constantine. Because it's not just science; it's magic.
Yeah. So
you need both.
For everybody that does not know in the know, they said if Legends got renewed for a second season, which it has, Constantine would be coming over to join the cast for the main season. They said they may swap people in and out, so we may lose some of the cast, be it they die, or
as we've seen with Carter,
right, or they just don't want to be there anymore and get sent back to their timeline, whatever the case may be. So they'll be replacing people. I think it's going to probably be the same number, like an ensemble cast, somewhere around the same number, because there's a fixed amount of chairs in that place. So
yeah. Well, that just means I have to go back and watch Constantine because I didn't even give it a chance.
Yeah, I'll have to finish up that season. Yeah. What else happened this episode? 1950s.
Stein was 1950s. There was
blatant racism everywhere.
Oh God, I'm so happy Jackson stood up and that girl was just like, oh damn, I'm so hot for you right now.
Yeah.
Oof.
Oh, but the cop came over. I'm like, oh, topical.
Yeah.
Well, I knew he was working for Savage.
I didn't. You knew? How'd you know?
I had no idea. I just thought that was what was going to happen because Jackson's black.
No, because the way he's like, oh, there's incident, go help, and I need to bring the cop didn't even like look in the car to see if she was there. He just came over the flashlight and clocked him over the back of the head. I go, he's working with them, like he's following the bird thing, like so he clearly knew about it.
Yeah, I didn't put that together.
No.
And then even more so when the girl was still in the car and Jackson was gone, like before they revealed that Jackson was with Savage. I was like, why is the girl still in the car when... Yeah.
I don't know. That is... Listen, that brings up a weird point because, like, how was Savage picking his subjects? That didn't make any sense to me.
I think he was taking them from the mental institute. He was just experimenting all kinds of experiments on them. The kids that just happened to be there at the meteor, he said
He had
this
to do
is
something about them.
this is destiny. You know, like
Yeah,
they just showed up by
get.
chance. But I
That
think
I
he was
get.
just taking people out of the mental ward and testing because
But the
who's
kids
gonna
who
miss
were-
them at that point? You know.
The kids who were... Yeah, but then there's Jax, who this cop just picks up off the street. You know what I mean?
Well, because I think he
Because of
saw
the
too
girl.
much.
Yeah, he saw too much. Like the kids that were turned into hawks were following the girl. They were tracking her.
Okay.
And Jax happened to be with her, and then he saw them at the lovers lane deal, and then yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I don't think the cop was just pulling in random people. I think he was just trying to cover up. He's working with Savage in that regard.
But there was only one of the boys from that night were... That Tommy was the only one he took that night.
Two.
Without the crash. Who was the other one? Because the other two boys, they were there messing with Jax, and he stood up to them, and she was like, "Oh, you're hot," right?
I could have swore there was Snart and Rip were dealing with one, and then Vanda was dealing with Jax, so Jax turned into one, and then Sarah, she was also dealing with a different one.
Were they all jocks?
They, I don't know.
I thought the one Sarah was dealing with was Jax. No?
No.
No,
No, the one Snart was dealing with
Snart
was
was
Jax.
dealing with Jax.
Yeah,
Okay.
because Jax said at the end of it, he goes,
Yeah.
you know, you could have killed me, but you didn't.
Right. Okay.
Stop! I'm getting all misty-eyed.
For the record,
Yeah.
I just recently saw Snart in Underworld. The actor plays a character in the original Underworld,
Really?
and he's really young, and he looks
young, and he has
nothing.
dark curly hair, and it's like, no way.
He looks nothing like Eminem. So
Is he a wolf? Is he one of the
No.
Lycans, or is he?
I don't remember.
No, he's just a random.
No, he's a
dude.
scientist.
A dude?
Yeah,
Oh,
a nurse.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch now.
It's
Yeah,
on
I
Netflix.
love Underworld.
yeah, it's on Netflix. So
Thank you, Netflix.
just a side note for
Sponsor us,
anybody
yeah.
interested in following any of the actors.
Netflix sponsor us.
Jeez. No, it was really interesting to see him that young and looks so different. And just to hear his voice that he's not a sarcastic ass. It was great.
Hmm.
Good contrast.
So Kendra and
Ray.
Ray playing
I wanted to
house.
puke the whole time. I cannot stand this pairing at all.
Oh, I think they're cute.
I liked the way that Ray was acting like towards her and being protective and stuff like that inside the party. You know, I like that. Like, she's not a go get your own drink. You know, like I love that. I thought that was
Yeah,
great.
that was fantastic. It was also it was something that the other nurse like appreciated because like it's what you want to tell the asshole doctor that steps all over you. Go get me a coffee.
Yeah. Well, that was Sarah. Sarah's just like, yeah, go
Oh,
get. Yeah.
Yeah. No, but the other nurse was like, yeah. She like
That
giggled.
poor nurse.
Yeah.
She totally had the hots for Sarah, and Sarah's just like, nope, see ya.
Well, Sarah opened up
Sarah
all
had the
these...
hots for her too.
She did, and she opened up all these doors, opened up this nurse's eyes saying, hey, it's okay. And then when she goes for it, Sarah's like flipping shit. Like, oh my god, what do I do? So, yeah, poor other lady.
Yeah.
Don't know her name. Didn't take the time to learn it. Sorry.
I'm trying to see if I cannot remember it.
Yeah, I was like, she really like went out of her way to try, and Sarah's all big and bad, tough girl, and the girl's like, oh, yeah, I want the bad girl, and then gets shot down. And then the bad girl gets feelings, and it's like, what the hell just happened?
She gets feelings.
Well, I mean, Sarah had an awesome talk with Stein where she's like, since I came back from the dead, I didn't do this feelings thing, and now there are feelings, and I can't make them stop, and I don't know what to do. Like, yeah, that's how feelings work.
Mm-hmm.
So Sarah's kind of like learning it all over again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think Stein even said that, like, it was like being kissed for the first time again, and
Yeah.
that's why she flipped out.
She got
And Stein was all worried about the nurse getting her feelings hurt when it was Sarah, in reality.
Sarah didn't get her feelings hurt. I think she was just rediscovering them.
I think she kind of did, though, when she realized that, she can't have this because time travel and things like that. Which, side note, again, sorry for all the side tangent, I just read an interview about Legends of Tomorrow and how the producers exactly want to deal with time travel.
Yeah.
And it's basically like we already said, they're going with the Back to the Future route. It's basically the rules of Back to the Future.
Oh, and they made a Back to the Future reference in this episode.
Right.
Called him Biff.
Called him Biff, yep.
So they said it's the rules of that where you go and do something and you can prevent yourself from being born, and like as long it, but you can fix it, and there's time to become concrete, and but they could also, but they said that time traveling is forbidden, which we already know, to go back to a fixed point, or to go to a point you've already been to.
Yes.
It's forbidden. Which they said, so when a character dies, you can't go back 5 minutes in time and tell them to duck.
Yeah.
You can't save them, so there's repercussions. Doesn't mean that they won't ever do that, but it's a big no-no.
Break them rules, son.
If they're going to do it, it's going to be a big thing.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting, I'm hoping, because Back to the Future 2 is one of my favorite movies of all time. But that's only because, and it's only because of the knowledge of Back to the Future 1. So technically Back to the Future 1 is paired with that for me, but I prefer 2 over 1 only because of those moments where like Marty's like creeping around Marty and like trying to hide from himself, not get caught and stuff like that. So I'm really hoping at some point Legends does that, where it's like, oh my god, we're here, don't go in there, don't, whatever, and it'd be, I want to see that. So I'm really hoping that'll happen.
That'd be hilarious. And this is they've shown that this is the show where at least Rip sort of knows the rules, but obviously doesn't care. Knows there's like something more they have to do, and they have to break the rules to do it. So if it comes to that where they have to, like, that seems like a very important rule. But I think if it comes down to it, Rip is like, listen, guys, this is a no-no, but we're doing it anyway.
Yeah, I see them sneaking around, doing the Scooby-Doo thing with the doors and, like, going through them with the Benny Hill theme going on. It's never going to happen, but I want to see it anyways.
Somebody will edit it.
Please.
Hopefully. Yeah. What else we got to talk about? Jackson Snart, like, I think that's a good thing to talk about. We mentioned it, but
I mean,
Jax was like being real, like, snide. He was like, you think we're just gonna ignore the fact that you took, Mick wherever, blah blah blah. They don't tell us what happened to Mick. I'm sorry, I got loud.
But it's true, they didn't. But I mean, that's because he probably didn't do anything to Mick.
I know, but it's killing me. I need to know.
We all need to know because, Mick is kind of like growing on all of us.
See, after watching this episode, I like freaked out for a minute because I was like, the three, like, so the last week's title was called Marooned, right? Mm-hmm. And I was like, it really had nothing to do with the episode. It's like the last minute of the episode. And it really didn't make much sense. It didn't connect. So at the end of this episode, all of a sudden I was like, wait, did they get the title wrong? Like, is this supposed to be marooned? Because you had Sarah,
Kendra and
Ray all get left behind.
Yeah.
And I was like, huh. So I was like looking through and I was like, no, wait, this is Night of the Hawk. This makes sense for that. Because I was thinking that the show was doing something clever. And that was naming every episode a title ahead on purpose. Because it's a time travel thing.
Kind of like a foreshadowing kind of thing.
Yeah. So I thought every episode title was foreshadowing.
Interesting.
It doesn't seem that way. I was like, oh, that would be so fucking clever if they did do that. But, yeah.
Yeah. But I think marooned was was referencing the other ship was marooned out in space.
Oh, yeah. That kind of makes sense.
I thought that's what that was about.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened to Mick, and it's making me nervous.
Have anxiety?
I have anxiety.
Giving you anxiety.
So many shows right now.
And half of them are DC.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the other one is The Walking Dead.
Mm-hmm.
Which is the source of most of my anxiety.
That's why I don't watch it anymore.
You value your blood pressure.
Me, I have no regard for anything, so give it.
I drink like 5 monsters a day, so
give it all to me. Yeah.
there's your blood pressure.
Well, I got this right now.
Red Bull. Close enough.
Yeah.
Kronos attacks at the end,
Yes.
and
Son of a bitch.
I loved it because he came out of nowhere, just busted down the door really quickly. They were like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, just buzz it. He shot Rip right in the chest, and I was like, "Oh my god, he's dead."
I was gonna say that because how did Rip take one to the chest and get back up?
I don't
He's
know.
not wearing any armor. He's wearing like fucking Malcolm Reynolds.
He's wearing
Maybe-
Constantine's clothes.
Maybe they trained for that. You know, in the future, maybe he's trained to take a hit like that, or
He's trying to take a bullet to the chest.
hey, you don't know. Was it a bullet or an energy pulse?
It was an energy pulse, but
But I mean that's a future bullet, right?
is it?
How do stormtroopers with armor go down in one hit?
Because stormtroopers are useless.
No, it's the Empire is cheap. Give him shitty armor.
Give them plastic for armor. It's fine.
It's probably plastic.
It's
Anyway,
fiberglass.
I was just like, how did you stand back up?
I don't know. I literally went, "Oh my god!" Like I yelled
Yeah.
it, and then he's just back up shooting again. I'm like, "What?"
Yeah.
And they never explained it. Like he could have had at least I remember an old episode of Superman where Clark Kent gets shot point blank almost in the chest as Clark Kent, and like the people from the Daily Planet or whatever they're around and they're like, "What? How did that bullet just bounce off of you?" And he reaches into his pocket and he pulls out a penny and he's just like, "Oh, my lucky penny," and it had like a dent in it, so it was like. It's cheesy stuff.
And then he made himself, I bet.
I'm sure he did.
He just went.
But
Look at this penny.
but
Isn't it shiny?
there was no explanation.
Exactly. I don't know if that's something they're probably never gonna address it.
No.
It's gonna piss me off. Anyway. But yeah, they just jumped and left everybody in 1958, and
Rachel in chat says maybe their clothes in the future are bulletproof.
maybe.
You know that new stuff?
Maybe Time Master issue clothes or
What's that new stuff that you can spray and it makes ketchup drip off of your shirt? And
Like
do you ever
waterproof stuff, yeah.
Yeah, it's
I've seen it. I don't remember the name, but I've seen it.
it's some stuff you could spray it on your shirt and you can literally just pour a whole bottle of ketchup on your shirt and there's nothing, no stain, no nothing. It's insane. So maybe they do the same thing with bullets.
bullets. That's how that works.
Yeah.
Sure.
Uh-huh.
It's like hairspray, except bulletproof.
Bulletproof hairspray.
I mean, hairspray back in the day, you could actually make beehives out of your hair. So I mean, it is possible that they can do something like that. Shit's solid.
Anyway, next episode is called Left Behind. Sarah returns to the League of Assassins. Ray, Sarah, and Kendra are shocked after they watch the Wave Rider fly off without them, leaving them stranded in the 50s. After waiting months for their teammates to come back, the three realize they must move on with their lives. Ray and Kendra bond as a couple, but Sarah decides to return to the League of Assassins and Ra's al Ghul.
What?
Yeah, because he's been alive for a couple hundred years. I mean,
Yeah.
he's around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
That's
that's
gonna fuck the future
that.
up a little bit.
See, it's stuff like that that I
Excited
don't
to see
understand how it doesn't like change the course of history. You know, like Sarah going to Ra's al Ghul before she's
goes to
There.
Ra's al Ghul.
yeah,
Before she's born.
right?
Well, it would make sense why she gets recruited in the first place.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
But this isn't. But the way that Legends works is it's not whatever happened.
Yeah.
So that doesn't make sense.
No, but shush.
Yeah. See, Cleo's trying to rational it, but she realized where my thought pattern was going for that, and she's like, "You're right. There's no. So we're just not gonna address it." That's how that's going.
Seems like the best course of action. Man, I'm really excited to see that actor again, but fucking Sarah should know better.
She should.
He's not a good guy. We know this.
No,
She
but-
knows this.
But where else does she have to turn at this point?
Her nurse Biddy. She can go back to her nurse.
Her nurse Biddy is gonna help her with Savage? No.
No.
Help her get home? No.
It says their goal is to get on with the rest of their lives, not Savage. It doesn't sound like they're gonna do anything about Savage in this episode.
Well, Ra's al Ghul, he's been around for a while, and in order for her to either be a better assassin or a better killer, she's gonna have to do something about that, or she's gonna go to him and hopefully get something so she can get her emotions under control, so that she becomes a better person for herself instead. Like, she's gonna like use him a little bit.
She might be
hopefully
searching him out too to subside the effects of the Lazarus Pit.
there's that.
I
It's kinda what I was
just
going for.
realized if you watch Arrow, you know that Malcolm, because of the League of Assassins, knows about Savage, knows about
Right.
Mhm.
his whole stuff. So maybe Sarah's going to find out about Savage, even though it doesn't say it in the
Yeah.
next time.
Could be
Maybe
going
that's
for
why
Savage,
she's
could be
going.
going to help with her bloodlusts, as well.
I thought she had that under control.
Kind of, but not really.
But you can still see it. She still kind of like goes overboard. She stops herself, but she gets to that point where she's going to go forward with whatever.
Yeah, so maybe she'll just take a couple vials of the pool so she could drink it. Because that's how that works.
Not how that works, and I don't think that Roz would be okay with that.
You just bottle it like Poland Springs and send it out to everybody, and it's great.
Yeah,
Great.
cost you $1.29.
Has healing potential.
Sure. Dom, where can the people find you?
You can find me down below at Phenomenon, PHENOMEDOM. Do.
Phenomenon. Do. Nikki, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at LadyVenom24, LadyVenom24.
And you can find me at Cleomoto on Twitter, Twitch, and Pinterest. And you can find all of us at ASOTV Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Gmail, Google+, and right here on YouTube. Follow us for some more podcasts from some of your favorite TV shows, movies, and video games. Until next time, bye-bye.
Ciao!
Hasta la vista.
Ciao, Bella.